Wanderers, welcome to the Wondering Dutchmen podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by the Gaslight Pizza and Grill. There is a place in Huntingburg that sits on historic 4th Street, the west end of historic 4th Street to be exact. This place carries unbelievable pizza, sandwich, and appetizers that are the best around. This place? You're right. It's the Gaslight Pizza and Grill. John Songer and crew are turning out quality meals for a date night or the whole family. The Gaslight also hosts live music and other events on their historic stage. Take a break from cooking, get out, be social, and head to the Gaslight tonight.
The Wondering Dutchmen podcast.
Well, none of us are Dutch, but we all live in Holland, Indiana. Join us where we talk about what we all wonder about. This is the Wandering Dutchman podcast coming to you from Smoker's Lounge.
The Wandering Dutchman. Yeah, yeah. The Wandering Dutchman. Yeah, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Wandering Dutchman podcast coming to you from Smoker's Lounge. Today's episode is brought to you by the Gaslight. They're on the historic 4th Street in Huntingburg, the west end to be specific. Our buddy John Songer up there at the Gaslight. Shout out to Brother John, always good to us. We actually recorded the first ever podcast in the Gaslight there. That building has a lot of history and will forever be known as the first podcast to record there. So that's kind of cool.
Hell yeah. Hall of Fame shit.
Not that anybody knows, but that's just what we're going to go with.
Yeah, that's fine.
So
I'm sure it's accurate.
yeah, it's good shape. Good shape. Fellas, here we are. We're recording on a Friday after a long week of work and everything else. And we're going to give you the best we got today because, well, we got the old meth kettle burning a little wood out there.
Hell yeah.
Some neighborhood friends out there. 1025s up here.
Keeping our seats warm.
Yeah, I didn't bring a seat, but
There's plenty.
yeah, there's plenty. It's all good. So, Brother Dave, what say you?
Just keep it on, working on projects. You know, we're going to plant some grass tomorrow in the backyard there and hopefully finish up that wiring. I've got all my Romex around, but I'm waiting on plugs to come in, so I just haven't messed with it. I got home today and decided, you know what, Dave?
You deserve a little time off.
Yeah, and I started up the meth kettle.
Nothing wrong with that. What kind of grass you going to plant? You got a little Kentucky bluegrass, a little fescue? What are you going with?
KW31.
Probably.
What?
KW31.
That's the Kentucky bluegrass?
Tall fescue.
Tall fescue.
Oh.
Works good.
right.
This is the perfect time to plant it. Anytime the month ends in the letter R.
So even December.
Even December. Throw it on the snow and it surely will grow.
Yeah, you need about 6 months for grass to develop roots.
That's what the
To
old
make
timers say.
So October
good
is the
shape
prime
then.
time. Good time to plant trees, too, if you got them.
Yeah.
So,
A lot of people mix up by planting grass in the spring because the summer, when the drought hits, the roots don't, like Casey said, the roots don't have a strong enough hold and it just burns up.
Oh, damn.
That's why you plant it in
unless
fall.
you're willing to water the hell out of it.
Yeah.
And I'm not.
Yeah, that's what I figured. So,
Yeah.
Shy of that pool falling over.
yeah, well, that chlorine in the pool probably ain't good for the grass.
Probably not.
Just going to throw it out there. So anything else? Anything exciting this week?
I don't think so.
You've been feeling better.
Yeah, feeling like I think I still got a little bit of the crud, but
Pass that on to your wife.
yeah, she's in bad shape.
Well, I think you passed it on to me a little bit. Well, I've had it. These allergies. I think your allergies get worse as you age.
Weather
it seems like a
swings.
sinus thing,
and
for
we
sure.
and it happens to me twice a year when the seasons change. Happens in the fall, happens in the spring, but some of it is just the allergies. The guys combining or kicking up a lot of dust.
Guys, hold your
I'm
ears.
watching.
Hold your ears.
Not a chance. Yep,
Wow,
I missed it.
you just ruined the mic, but
Yeah.
Well,
Hey, that $400 mic
fucking
is
moscas.
yeah. Well, you're kind of like
That's
Monty.
how you say fly in Spanish. Moscas.
Monty tries to catch him with his mouth, and he's not caught one in his 8 years. But that son of a bitch gives a
Chomp.
grade A effort every time.
Yeah.
attaboy.
Starting to age a little bit. It's starting to tug on my heart. Big fella, what you got going on?
Well, kind of an awkward week. Start off Monday at work, Tuesday at work, and then Wednesday took off, went down to Deaconess Midtown to Evansville Surgery Center for Evelyn's. I'm going to probably screw this up royally, but I think it was called a tympanoplasty, where they Evelyn was born with troublesome ears, so she's had several sets of tubes in her ears. And as they've fallen out, she still has the issues with the fluid and stuff. So I think she's had 4 sets of tubes. And this last time, when the tube fell out, the hole in her eardrum actually never closed.
Yeah.
And with all of her numerous ear infections, that hole just basically got bigger and bigger. So they had to go up above her ear, right at the base of her hairline, and graft some tissue, harvest some tissue out of that area, and then go back down in her ear canal and basically put a skin graft over her eardrum for where the perforation was.
How long is that healing process?
So she's got 10 inches of packing
So I think
jammed down in her ear canal, and that has to stay in until the 16th. And then at that time, they will pull all that packing out, reevaluate, and then basically, if she was in a contact sport, so let's say if it was basketball season, she would be out for 6 weeks.
yeah.
So, and then she's on like hella restrictions for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So, but she's going stir crazy. When I got home from work today, she was out in the garage walking on the treadmill.
Oh boy.
Yeah, she's going to go back to school on Tuesday because we got Columbus Day coming up on Monday, so they got a PD day for that. And then on Tuesday, she'll go back to
Wait, what?
Yeah,
no
out
school
Monday.
on Monday.
They were just out on like September 24th.
Well, the teachers need to professionally develop.
What about the 3 months they're off in the summertime?
Well, they're off. They can't develop while they're off.
Oh, good Lord.
Man, I thought it was going to happen.
But anyway, so yeah, we've been doing that, working over.
There's 2 flies in this shop,
And they're
and there's all this space for them to go roam.
I got that bastard.
Hell yeah. There was a fly swatter.
left?
Oh, there's a fly swatter right there under the television.
We'll get it. We'll get it here. Dave, go grab that sucker. We'll just start mowing these bitches down. But yeah, so we did that surgery Thursday work, and then today work. Also poured some concrete today. Nice shot, brother.
Yep.
And then tomorrow the Huntingburg City citywide fall cleanup's going on. So I got to man the shift in the afternoon. So come down to the First Street lot and see me between noon and 4. Holy shit, fire. Never know. But yeah, so we just been running and gunning, man. Soccer season's over.
Thank the good Lord.
Football season.
above.
Big fella had a hell of a game last night down at Boonville. We went down there, fell behind 14-6 in the first half, and ended up battling back and winning in overtime 28-21. So it was a hard fought game, and it was actually really exciting to watch. So
Well, I'm happy to hear that.
yeah. What about you, buddy? What do you got?
Well, this week, in real time, our buddy Red and the crew have been putting on the Corn Ferry Tour Championship, brought to you by United Leasing and Finance, up there at the Pete Dye course at French Lake Resort. So had the opportunity to play the Pete Dye course on Monday in the rain, and nothing makes a course that's difficult in fair weather conditions even more difficult than playing it
Difficulter?
in the rain. So
You're not a big wet golf guy either.
no, I am not.
You hate it, matter of fact.
Not a fan. Yeah,
Yeah,
not a fan.
It's all wet. And
Yeah, I just don't
balls
like
are
it.
wet. And
Yeah, just don't like it. But we played pretty good group. The pro we played with is not playing in the Corn Ferry Tour Championship. He was a young feller from Sevierville, Tennessee.
Sevierville.
Yeah, that's it. And played at the University of Tennessee. And he's on the Americas Tour, and he's working to try to get on there. So he actually headed to Q School this week in, I think he said, Omaha.
Omaha.
He's going to Omaha to play golf, but really nice guy. Played pretty good golf, but it was fun to play up there on the Dye. And then on Thursday, we played at the Donald Ross course with the head golf coach of the University of St. Francis up there in northern Indiana. Up there, I think that's Fort Wayne area, NAIA school. He's the golf coach up there. Really nice guy, too. Really living the dream. Graduated from college a couple years ago. no wife, no kids, nothing. Just gets to play golf and hang out. So pretty solid living, if you ask me. Young me would probably appreciate it. But kind of a weird week because of that, because we had an 8:50 tee time at the – no, check that. We had a 10-something tee time up at the Die, 10:10, and then 8:50 at the Ross. And I'm just going to invite you to the trust tree. I don't make it into the office that early very often. Not like it's super later than that, but you got to get all the kids ready and then out earlier.
Oh.
So it's throwing the week.
Couple tough mornings then, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. My darling wife that just found out we were recording 15 minutes ago was great in helping get all the kids ready while I got ready. And she's just an angel. Doesn't listen to the show,
there's a lot to say about that, because communication is a very strong
Oh,
point
don't you dare.
in a marriage, a successful marriage.
It is. I communicate when I recall or need to. So then today we had CLE going on too. So I had to be in early again today.
What's that mean?
Continuing legal education.
Oh.
So then I went up to the Die and watched the professionals play. And I tell you what, boys.
Nutty, huh?
Them guys are good. But the course is battling. I mean, I think there's a guy, I think the leaders are maybe at 5 or 6 under. So that's after 2 days. So you're looking about 3 under each day. A couple guys have made some runs. Course has played pretty good. The rain has made the greens soft. So you play up there in the summertime when the greens it'd be like putting on this table. But it's been pretty receptive. So it was good. I mean, saw our buddy Red, our buddy Tyler Jordan. We played golf a couple times this week. Red told me to tell you guys hi.
Good.
Saw some other friends of the program. Blake English, who's a C.H. Robinson guy, works with the Pink Staff boys. I saw him today, and he was doing pretty good. So it's been a good week overall, except I haven't done a single thing of schoolwork. Heading to Cincinnati tomorrow for a wedding reception for the day. And, yeah.
Good times.
Back against the wall. So there we go.
Got to do it.
Let's get into it. But before we do, I know it's crazy to think that we're talking about Christmas in October, but when it comes to Lights by Logan, you got to get on his books early. Listen, we aren't big fans about getting Christmas up before Halloween or Thanksgiving, but now is the time to start planning your holiday decorations. That's where Lights by Logan comes in. Our buddy Logan Clark is the best around in getting the outside of your home ready for the jolly fella in the red suit. Logan is easy to work with, puts the plan you make into reality, and stands by the work he does. Logan, well, he books fast. That's why we're telling you now in October. All right, big fella. What you got?
Well, hot topic here in the southern Indiana. More importantly, Spencer County, just a couple miles south of here, actually. Indiana executes Roy Lee Ward.
Oh, they did that this morning, didn't
the
they?
2001 murder of teenager Stacy Payne. So death mate Roy Lee Ward was executed by lethal injection last night, this morning at 12:01 when the shot was administered, and he was confirmed dead at 12:33. It's kind of a racy topic. It's kind of a, something that I've been not necessarily stewing on, but just something that I've kind of been thinking of lately. More so when you hear about, like, when he went for his clemency trial a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, clemency hearing.
And for him to actually basically plead for his life, plead for clemency or whatever they call that. And then you hear the testimonials from the actual first responders, police officers, EMS crew that were there on scene that day. And, you try to put your foot into their shoe and just kind of relive, what they did and what they had to experience that day. And you know what? It's tough to really find any sympathy for a man after, hearing those kind of testimonials.
Well, it's interesting as the one that has done criminal defense work. And really, this is a recent trend in the state of Indiana. They restarted doing capital punishment and doing the actual things probably last year, maybe. They started, I think they did 2, and he's the third one here in recent history. The big problem with these that have gone on is finding the correct drug cocktail that they use to do this. That's why you've seen some other
Here,
states.
lead works good.
That's why you've seen some other states go into doing
Got him.
gas chambers. I think with nitrogen.
That worked real well back in the 40s.
Oh yeah. I think
that's history.
Yeah, it's different. I think that was cyanide that they used for that.
Yeah, nitrogen just thieves all the oxygen out and you just suffocate to
That's
death.
what they do to the turkeys, right? They just pump. Is it nitrogen or they just pump pure CO2 into those? What they do with the
I
turkey?
don't know. We'd have to ask one of our local turkey farmers. But you've seen firing squads come back.
Utah.
Yeah, I think there's a couple. South Carolina, maybe. So it's been a trending thing for it to come back. But I have a hard time with it.
Here's the thing that kind of gets me when I say that I was stewing on it, which I don't really understand. But so at least one of these sets of pentobarbital was expected to be used for Ward's execution. Any unused drugs will expire at the end of the month, according to the new court documents. The governor previously disclosed that the state officials spent $1.175 million on lethal injection doses over the last year, $600,000 of which was spent by former Governor Eric Holcomb's administration on drugs that expired before use. The cost has anywhere between $275,000 and $300,000 per dose.
Yeah.
For a human execution, which absolutely boggles my mind.
Well, the reason that is because
when
those companies that make them, that's what they
pretty much just name their price.
Well, that's
probably
exactly right. But the thing of it is, I think with this, the new, because used to they administered 3. There was one to kind of sedate, there was one to slow down your breathing, and then there was one to just stop your heart, which is the pentobarbital. I don't know if I said that. I think that's
fine.
close.
We get it. I mean,
but
you're right there.
So now what they've done is they've made like a mix, and it comes mixed like that because I think that was what Ward's defense team, which was they raised some last minute objections to it because it's basically mixed somewhere else in a lab and then delivered to the state, where it's not like a pure form where you're dropping one after the other. But it's wild because in these situations, like from the criminal defense world, like we're in law school, I think, and we asked the question, like if you had a client that you represented and they got this, the death penalty, would you want to be there? And really talk about, like this was conversations over multiple beers. And it was interesting because like it was just one of those things where the conversation circled around like it really depends on if you had a good relationship with the defendant, because a lot of times in these situations whoever was trial counsel or whatever, even appellate counsel, these people blame them for not being able to win, and so there's not a good relationship there because like the people representing him in the end for everything, like in the clemency and, when he tried to exhaust his other options, those were all state public defenders that tax dollars, pay to do that.
That's what this, going back to it, it said the Indiana Parole Board recommended against clemency last month, citing that the heinous nature of Ward's crime. But then the defense team's testimony emphasized a recent autism spectrum disorder diagnosis.
Of course.
Of Ward's expression of no remorse. Mike Braun, obviously subsequently allowed the execution to proceed. But I think the one thing that I read, which was wild, is that he was bitching about the death chamber at Michigan City having something about it had a 2-way mirror to where obviously the viewing gallery could watch him take his last breaths for their own, closure or whatever you would call it. But the inmate was unable to see the looks on their faces, prior to his subsequent execution.
Yeah.
And I guess, everybody has to have their last wish and their last meal.
No, you don't.
Exactly.
You don't.
You know what I mean? That may sound heinous and cold of me, but I don't know. Like, for them to bring that up, I don't know if they were looking for a change of venue or if they were looking for something to where fucking bring him in the room. You know what I mean? I don't know obviously that's probably got something to do with his current mental state, knowing that he's going to meet his judgment. But it's wild to me to think for him to talk his attorneys in to try to bring that up. Like, hey, we can't do this here because he can't see through the window to watch him die.
That tells you. They're
just trying to scratch and claw for anything.
Well,
to
but
drag shit
I'm not
out.
any
Fuck,
kind
it's
of.
been drug out for 26 years. We've been providing this fucker 3 hots and a cot for this whole long time, and they could have, like, everybody talks about that day, and nobody wants to put their foot into that police officer's shoes. But when those police officers entered the home, which I have absolutely no ground to stand on by making the statement, but everybody always says they could have saved the state so much money if they would have just fucking plugged him right there, because he was actively holding the knife over top of this young gal when they walked in, as according to the court documents and everything at that time. Which,
Well, everybody says that, but
Wild.
that goes all the way back to World War I and the guy
yeah.
that let Hitler by and not shoot him. You know what I mean? Like, you can play that what if game, but those guys, they're not trained to just, rip the trigger. Like, there's some stuff that has to go on. You got to try. And I'm sure as soon as the cop came in, told him to stop or drop or whatever, he did. The only thing you could do is if he was actively engaged in that, to where he did it in a defense of another. But
true.
It's just, you just remember it as a kid, because we were younger kids. Dave, you weren't even in the area yet. And it just...
Yeah, I've never heard of this.
Really?
Before.
Just right down.
Just south of the interstate.
There's a house when you're going on the...
Used to...
the on-ramp to 64 heading east, as if you're going down 231. There's a little brown house right there. That's exactly where it was.
Before they put the new 231 in, where you go up to the co-op, like going back to get rock and everything now, that road went straight across the interstate right there, and then there was a left-hand turn to go into Denny's, Mega Maze.
Oh, Mega Maze.
There's a gas station up there, and then that road goes back to Winkler Wholesale Trucking and the Chrome Dome and Dale Lake and a bunch of shit back there. And I guess they were outside. Her and her sister was outside playing, and this guy had came up. This Roy Ward had came up and told him that he was looking for a lost dog or something. So I think that was what the story was, that he had lost his dog or some shit, and she unfortunately let him in the house to use the phone, and he just clubbed her over the head with a dumbbell, like an 8-pound dumbbell, and then continued the task there. But yeah, it was just literally, we could be there in 6 minutes from where this all happened. But I don't know. I would just, it brings a big argument, as a nation about capital punishment, and how they said that there were actual, like, anti, capital punishment activists in the parking lot of the jail up there at Michigan City, during this situation. But, they had a bunch of signs and shit set up that said the death penalty targets poor people, and, and all this stuff, which, I don't see it. I guess if you don't have the lawyers and all the big monies and stuff
but
like that. But
in these cases, so how this process works, it's not just like miraculously it happens. A prosecutor has to file an intent to seek. It becomes a capital case, basically. It has to file a petition to seek the death penalty. And how that works is, you're correct, if you cannot afford representation, which I couldn't imagine the dollar amount that you would need to privately hire somebody for legal fees and something like this.
Didn't this conversation get brought up about a murder that happened in DuBois County in the last 10 years? And there was a bunch of folks that thought that the type of heinous crime that he had committed on the young gal, that would warrant the death penalty because of the situation and all of the contributing factors. But you and I were having some beers and we're having a conversation about it, and you said that there was no way that Du Bois County as a whole could afford.
It's an expensive.
Could even afford to have like a death penalty trial.
I mean, you could, but it's really fact sensitive, and I'm not a prosecutor. I never was, but being a defense attorney, you kind of understand. A lot of times you see the death penalty in extremely heinous crimes. Crimes against law enforcement. A lot of times, crimes in which children, are victims of the situation. So you really see that, heinous of a crime that it gives rise to that. Now, prosecutor has to file an intent for the death penalty, and that's probably not the right word for it, but there's a filing made, and as soon as that happens, when they file that, you damn near, the attorney that takes over the case, almost all their other cases get dropped off. Like they basically, because they've worked on this, because there's been appeals, there's been things happen.
They're going to lock in on
They
this.
basically take, they pluck 2 attorneys, and this is basically all they eat, sleep, and breathe until the trial's over. And so it really, they look at what, the attorney's caseload is, all this stuff to focus on and do that. Any experts you need when you've got public representation, footed by the taxpayers, experts, different things like that. So it's just such a huge cost to try a case. And, if you scroll through and you look at individuals that are, on death row, there's the Weishaupt, I think it is, out of Evansville. Mm-hmm. The facts of that crime was, 2 children, arson, death. I don't know. That one I think was tried over in Perry County with a change of a judge venue, but that's the kind of cases you get to where it happens. But
they said on average it's less than 30 in the United States of America per year are actually executed, and they said in 2022 it was 18, so that's the most recent Google figure that
it's just one of those deals. But not to change gears, because it is still involved in crime. How about Mark Sanchez up in Indy? Did you see that, Dave?
The announcer guy that beat the shit out of that old guy?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's a
69-year-old man, and he beat the piss out of that feller.
Yeah.
And that guy was lucky enough to get a blade in him, too.
Yeah, a couple times.
Got him shivved in the gut there, and then they ended up coming to the hospital and arresting Sanchez.
I went and looked up the affidavit of probable cause and read it, and it is wild, the facts of this case. As you read it, basically this guy was doing his job. He was loading out frying oil from the Weston, and Sanchez gets up in the truck and was like, "You can't be here." And the guy was like, "What do you mean? This is part of my route. This is what I do." And Sanchez "You can't be here. You can't do this." And so got up in the truck and tried to get in the truck on the passenger side, and the driver was trying to do all this. And then next thing he knows, the Sanchez threw him, and he hit a pallet. And I don't know who I was talking to, but
he had a big. Did you see the photos of the guy?
They said the gash. He could almost stick his tongue through the gash on the side of his cheek.
What's he got against blue collar working guys?
Well, he's a California guy, so
he's famously known for butt fumbling.
Yeah, well, he fumbled this one because at first
what the fuck's a butt fumble?
It was in a game. He ran into one of the linemen and fumbled it, and he ran into the lineman's butt, kicked the ball out, and then that's what happened. But and actually he at first everything was about misdemeanors, and then they amended the charges, and he's charged with a level 5 felony with 1 to 6 years in the Department of Corrections. So, but I think this guy had already the victim in this. Alleged victim, obviously it's just allegations at this point, but the alleged victim, they've already filed suit against Sanchez and Fox and on the civil side of it.
How can they sue his employer?
Well, see, there's the rumor mill is wild, and again, all this is allegedly that this may be possibly the erratic behavior. This wasn't the first time. because for there to be some kind of immediate, I mean, it'll get found out in discovery, but obviously they're operating under the pretense that Fox knew that this was a
He was
possibility,
kind of a loose cannon.
loose cannon, and they didn't do anything about it. And
Yeah, you can look at those old washed-up quarterbacks. He's probably got a little touch of CTE. He's got that big head and fat pockets on TV.
well, his house is nice.
Yeah,
'Cause
thinking he can do whatever he want to in the city of Indianapolis, and
Well, the truck drivers stood up for all truck drivers and got him a
amen.
couple of.
Well, just wait till they get the Teamsters involved. He'll be fucked.
How do you know this guy was part of
Don't.
teams? Yeah,
That's just pure speculation.
okay.
But
I
if
just,
he is, he'll be fucked.
just
Because
wondering.
the Teamsters union's a pretty big deal.
Well, what would their involvement be in this?
Truck drivers, man.
Well, I understand that, but what are they going to do for this guy?
Probably
Put him in concrete somewhere.
yeah.
Oh, Jimmy
Give the old
Hoffa
Jimmy
style.
Hoffa, yeah.
Pony up the money for the legal fees. Maybe they'll really back the organization there.
Yeah, well, we'll see. All right, fellas.
Anyway.
Here's what I was wondering about. So it simply reads, not a insert activity guy. So a lot of times you hear like, hey, not a weed guy, not a drug guy, and I was just wondering if you guys, thinking about this where if somebody comes up and is like, hey, we're going for a run later, and you're like, kind of not a running guy, but just, you're just not that guy. And I was just wondering if,
I know what Dave's is.
okay.
Not a big like public event guy. Yeah, not a big crowd guy.
Unless I'm properly lubed.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
If I got a good fair amount of beers in me, I'll go give it a go. Always gets a case of the icks after I think like,
Ugh.
What do you mean?
I say I'm not a big heroin guy.
yeah,
Oh, that's good.
yeah, not a big gymnastics guy.
What makes that not a big gymnastics guy?
I'm not very bendy.
Oh, I thought maybe you're like against watching it, or I didn't know
No,
you
no, I
actively
just-
participated in gymnastics.
I don't think I'd look good in a leotard.
Not very cut out for the pommel horse.
Yeah,
Or those fucking Hercules rings.
that'd be.
Hey,
tough
did you
to
see
do.
the one, the AI, where if Jesus was a gymnast?
No.
And he said that he was out on the had the rings, the parallel rings, and he said he was in the cross formation, and he said he's performing a hell of a lot better than he did back in whatever year it was.
Oh gosh.
It was pretty tough, one of those AI deals. But
Yeah.
Somebody better do some soul searching.
I'm not a big. I don't know. I don't know. There's nothing really that I absolutely hate. Yeah,
I might be a big bingo guy after last weekend.
Oh
yeah.
boy.
I do like playing bingo, which, by the way, you still got that, huh?
Yeah, I do have that.
We'll have to hold that hostage. for
figure out
next
when
time
we can get
Bradley
that,
comes down.
Well, maybe that's a Thanksgiving Eve activity. We can put the numbers up on the TV and all
Yeah,
kinds
we
of
can't
stuff.
have all them kids calling numbers again.
Oh,
That
God.
was well.
Needed some earplugs.
We were cleaning up, and it was there was some
Markers.
Markers.
like an actual
ball.
like
Yeah.
something was found, and
Good.
so
Good.
that if you're going to a bingo party with a certain individual that's involved at Merkley and Sons, not going to name names, but that could be an illegitimate bingo game.
You know what? I'm not a big. This is a hot take. I'm not a big caramel corn guy.
I like caramel corn.
I'm not a big like caramel corn or kettle corn.
I like kettle corn even better.
I
than
don't
caramel
know
corn.
where Evelyn was.
Did you guys ever get the 3 popcorn combo
Oh,
cans
love
at
it.
Christmas?
I mean, I
Yeah.
sold it for the first
Big popcorn guy.
10
There it is, big popcorn guy.
10 years of my childhood.
you think that's why you don't like it now?
out there peddling corn, but I don't know. Like everybody goes batshit nuts over the kettle corn. Where the hell did the girls go? The girls went somewhere and came home with a whole big old thing. of
Probably
kettle corn.
Chandelier.
You
Bar
know, up
Market.
at Bloomington on their cowgirl
Oh,
experience.
I didn't see any kettle corn.
I think the warden might have brought it home for Evelyn because Evelyn's a huge kettle corn gal.
Lots
Really.
of kettle corn at Covered Bridge Festival.
Yes, and that's the same thing with my parents, and that they bring it home and they eat it and they love it, and it just I'm not
I'm
a
a fan.
yeah.
I'm not a big fruity alcoholic drink guy.
Ooh, the old gut rot madness.
The pina coladas, the Mai Tais,
Cayman
the
Jacks,
daiquiris,
these Cayman Jack things that these girls are drinking.
those
now.
hurricane things. Like I'm not into them.
Situational, beach, hot, summer.
I like a rum and Coke on the beach.
I could get down with like a frozen thing, like if you were like at a resort somewhere, like they got some fruity umbrella drinks, maybe like one or two, but like to sit there and just get destroyed on those brain freeze drinks.
Makes you want to puke.
Ugh.
I'm not a weird, like, fancy food guy. Like, you see these people that have these fancy, like, Michelin-rated restaurants and stuff. Not into that.
I like my Michelin's under the vehicle.
Get a steak. Get that fly. I don't think you got him.
I hit him, but he just made it. There's blood on the table.
Oh boy.
We'll track him later.
So not a weird food guy.
I don't know.
Fancy food guy.
So that I could buy into that.
Not
too.
a big oysters guy.
Oh,
They gotta
I
be
am.
steamed on the half. Dude, do you see what's coming out of the Gulf with some of that stuff they're talking about? It's got like the flesh-eating bacteria in them. It's killed a couple guys down there.
Well, that sucks.
Oh boy.
I could fuck up a plate of friggin' oysters.
We had this conversation on the golf course about Bob and Tom. I'm not a Bob and Tom guy.
Literally got brought up this week because one of the headlining acts tomorrow at the Haunted Huntingburg Blues Fest is a big Bob and Tom band. It's that Duke Tomato and whoever
No clue.
plays on Bob and Tom a lot. And I think now is it Tom or Bob? One of them retired.
I don't think it really is relevant, or not relevant, but
No, but
matters.
like this, and then like you got all the
I think Tom retired. Bob
Donnie
still-
Baker passed away.
Well, he got shot, didn't he?
Yeah,
Well, that's not what killed him. The heart attack.
He had
Heart
a heart
attack
attack
killed
in the
him.
hot tub. But anyway, there's 4 or 5 of them that are big time, that were very influential acts, I guess you would say, on the show that's no longer involved. That it just, I don't know, just kind of kicked.
I'm not a big news guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like, I'll check my Google News because it's kind of tailored to it, knows what I want to see, like, UFOs and stuff.
Hidden lakes.
Don't get into politics much. Not a big politics guy.
Yeah.
Even though, like, I've got a pretty
Staunch.
like
stance.
I know I'm firm in where I stand, but it doesn't bother me that other people don't stand there, and I just keep that shit to myself, and I just don't care what people think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good mentality to have.
Not a big weed eating guy.
Oh,
Don't do any weed eating.
You know who is a big weed eating guy?
Brado.
Yeah, our buddy Brado.
Did you see his comment on today's episode?
I
on
haven't
YouTube?
seen it. What do you have to say?
He said, "Wow, party, football, soup. My invite must have been lost in the mail."
Oh my gosh. Unbelievable.
I'm not a big Geez, this is tough. What do I do not like to do?
I'm not a big boxers guy.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, I got
Boxer briefs are the way to go.
Yeah,
No, I'm a
Whitey tidies?
no. Like I got my,
those are 100% boxer briefs.
but I'm talking straight boxers.
yeah, no
Yeah,
way,
no way.
Too much room.
That's
for
The
your,
flap doesn't stay flapped. You
That's
can't.
a chafing situation.
yeah,
I've
and
seen
like
it.
with our, well, I shouldn't say our. I don't want to speak for anybody else, but like with my little wiener, it just kind of
pokes out of
pokes out of
yeah.
the little flapper there. You
Always
know,
trying to get a peek.
yeah.
I'm not a big.
I'm not a big home improvement guy. I absolutely hate
Oh, I lost being able to fix the washer.
home improvement jobs.
Janelle sent me pictures of washers she wants, and I'm just devastated.
You should have just got the part and fixed it. And
I know.
fixed
should've.
yourself.
You gonna get the set too, huh?
Got to.
You
Gosh,
got-
I know.
You can't have that mixed wash.
Yeah, that's
mixed washer dryer white trash bullshit. No,
Yeah,
you can't have-
that's-
they got to match.
That's it.
Get you speed queen.
I'm not. No, not big enough. I'm not a suit and tie guy. I know I
neither.
wore one
Not
for
a
a
big
long.
dress-up guy.
I know I wore one for a long time, but I hated it every day. Hated it.
I would probably try to pursue like I've always been super intrigued by like the funeral business. This is the God's honest truth. Not necessarily like the stuffing them part, but like
Oh, really, big fella?
like the whole,
I don't know that that's the process.
what do you call it? Like grief
Embalming?
grief management, like the whole making
Big shoulder to cry on.
Yeah, like making sure that your family gets the needs that they need dealing with the loss of a loved one. Like I think that is a very intriguing job. I've got a really close friend that does it, you know, and everything like that. And, you know, at one point in my life when things were getting weird, I told him, I said, hey man, I would probably be willing to, you know, participate in the education that it would take for me to be able to go into this role if it would ever happen, you know, that you would need a helping hand, you know, in this adventure. And he's like, well, you got to dress up. And I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if I could get away with like a polo shirt and a nice pair of slacks, like without tucking it in, you know?
Yeah, you got to tuck it in.
Without, I mean, I don't want to look like a slob,
You think,
but
could you imagine big fella coming up to Gam Gam's house to pick up, you know, grandma that just passed after 95 years, minivan, both windows down, big Paul hanging out, maybe ripping a cigarette or two.
No, I don't smoke.
Listen to some loud rock music. Wheels are in there, slams her in reverse to back it up. Says, "Where's she at?" Walk in there and grab her like a sack of taters and throw her in the back.
that's terrible.
I could see it.
That would
100%.
never.
I am. I'll tell you one thing. I used to be not a Birkenstocks guy. Might have even poked fun at those that wear the stocks, but I'm all in.
I got a blister last weekend from wearing mine to yours. I hadn't worn them in a long time.
So does that make you out, or are you still in?
The girls have just recently purchased a good new set of Firks.
Fake
the Ferk?
Birkenstocks.
Fake Birkenstocks. Firks, they call them.
Birks. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm not a big.
Good topic.
I'm not a big.
Oh,
Go ahead.
light bulb. I'm not a big cell phone store guy.
Oh yeah.
I'm not a big BMV guy.
I'm not a big sleep on the couch guy.
Ooh.
I go
My
to the
couch is
recliner.
pretty nice. though.
Listen to this. So my mother-in-law, she needed to get title changed over on some four-wheelers. And she went over to a local BMV that may be the county seat of DuBois County. Not naming names.
Right.
Not naming names. And as soon as she told me that, I looked at her and I said, what in the world are you going over there for? Like, them people would be rude to their own mother.
I thought they're very nice over there every time I've been. They're very sweet.
Never.
I go to Dale
Yep. And I told her, I said, you go to Dale, they'll get you taken care of.
in 20 minutes.
Sure as shit, she was in, she was out. She's like, oh my gosh. So this is God's honest truth. I don't know what age you renew your driver's license, but it was the one after 21.
25.
25.
So what's the one after that?
32. Just made that up. I don't know.
They might be close. Because Janelle and I were married, and my birthday is February 19th. Sometimes President's Day happens to fall on my birthday. Well, I'm busy, and of course I wait till the last minute.
No.
So I had to get the real ID, so birth certificate,
The whole shit
mail,
match.
all that stuff. I go over to Jasper. Mind you, I've used this birth certificate my entire life. And she goes, I can't read that. I don't know what it is. I said, it's not relevant. It's just the date issued. Like, it was just smudged a little bit. I was like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's been good to use the other 30 plus years. And she goes, well, I'm not going to accept this. I look at the clock. I'm like, well, I appreciate you wasting my time because I sat here next to two people that didn't have a clue what they were doing. One smelled a little bit like urine and pulled up on a scooter. Like, I thank you for wasting my time. So I
She's
called.
just doing her job.
No, because I go down to Evansville because I told Janelle, I was like, well, I got to go get a birth certificate copy down in Vanderburgh County because that's where I was born.
They can mail it to you.
Didn't have time. This was Friday afternoon. Monday, they're closed. License expires on Monday. So I fly down to Evansville, go to the BMV that's across from the Sam's Club, kind of catty corner there. Walk in, sit down, nice lady beside me. We chat, walk up with my stuff. Lady's like, looks good. Appreciate it. new ID. I'm on my way back from Evansville. It just,
I got done one time. I don't remember what I had purchased, a vehicle of some sort, and the seller of the vehicle had filled out, his information on the title. And then I had, filled out my information on the title, but the ink was in different color and they wouldn't accept it. He wrote it in black ink and I signed it in blue ink. And they wouldn't do it.
I'd have traced over it with black ink.
Right. So at that time, I was already there, and she had already caught it, and I literally had to leave and go get an amended title so I could sign it in the proper color ink. Yeah. It's the stupidest rules that you've ever heard. And with the Indiana coming up with that My BMV, where you do everything online and don't even really have to go in there anymore.
But you can only do that twice in a row to renew your license that way.
Really?
Yeah, because this next time I'm going to have to go.
Goody gumdrops.
Yeah, I'm not a bad live music guy. Like, I love live music, but if it's too loud or it's not good, like, I have no problem leaving. You know what I mean? Like, it just.
I am not a concert. Like, I really enjoyed Bourbon and Beyond with the neighbors. We had a good time. But I don't like to stand for a concert, but I don't like to sit close to people.
Yeah.
Like,
I love outdoor shows because you can spread out a little bit.
So you're not a big music festival guy.
Thing is, I like that's about the crew you're with. But I wouldn't go to a music festival by myself.
We need to go down to Henderson with Curtis Crow.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
That'd be a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you can spread out at a festival.
Yeah.
Like, you can leave the crowded area and
go find your own spot where you can conversate and still listen to music.
Yeah.
I'm not a bowling guy.
Oh, I like it. I like to bowl.
I don't bowl much. I'd like to do a bowling team and do a bowling league just because I feel like it's that time.
Our friends up there at Legendary Lanes on 13th Street in Huntingburg, they got a hell of
But it's Tuesdays. Everything is always Tuesdays.
Yeah.
And I don't know why Tuesdays, but everything is on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to think if there's anything else I'm not.
I don't know.
Not a big wine guy. I know that hurts your heart, brother Dave.
Well, I just got into it last year. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a big wine guy.
Buddy, I've seen you be a big wine guy.
That's fair.
2 bottles of $2 Chuck during a recording might qualify.
Not a big video game guy. And I try to play I want to play video games.
Neither.
But like, I've got this little thing like with Super Mario and stuff on it. I can get into that because it doesn't take a lot of commitment. But like all these newfangled video games, like where you got to just really stay in them and do it all the time.
Well, I think the thing with the video games nowadays is like the video games that we played, there was actually like a storyline where you
now
actually
it's just to run around and create mayhem.
Now it's just first-person shooter games where you just get online and see how many people you can kill in a lot of.
Like I thought I'd like Red Dead Redemption. There's a new Star Wars game called Outlaws. It's the same way.
Assassin's Creed.
You just kind of run around doing what you want, but there's like missions you can do too. I was like, oh, maybe that's what I need, so I can just jump. And it's not an online thing. You're not playing against people that live in their parents' basement and just video game all day. But even those, I just lose.
Yeah,
Dave, this is gonna hurt your heart a little bit. Not a big Star Wars guy.
Oh,
not a big Star Trek guy.
That's very. Now, see, I was thinking about that earlier this week. I'm not a Star Trek guy, but I'm a Star Wars guy. Like all the books I read are like magic and fucking wizards and shit. And I think that's why I like Star Wars, because it's like aliens and spaceship, but there's also like some magic and wizard shit.
The Force.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just a fun little topic.
It is. We could go for hours on this, but I would have to do some thinking to come up with some more.
But those are some pretty good ones off the top.
Not
of
a
your
big craft beer guy. I just like
okay.
Busch Light.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing wrong with that.
Big beer.
I'll say this. Now that I'm older, not a big drinking games guy.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you pulled out the solo cups and you wanted to play beer pong, I'd be like, I did that for 4 years, 5 nights a week. Like
that
I'm
card
over it.
game asshole.
Never played.
Oh, God, we played it all the time. It was a lot of fun.
Asshole Kings.
Kings, Ride the Bus.
Oh, my.
all that.
Power Hour.
Power
Sink
Hour.
the Biz.
Sink the Biz.
I
That was,
think,
Club.
hey, I tell you
Sink
what.
the Biz. We should go up to Nick's and play that sometime.
When
up
we
in
get a
Bloomington.
good spring day coming up after you ask for a long winter, we roll open the doors, nice spring warm day, and we do a good power hour to get the party started.
I'll make up a playlist.
We used to do Century Club
Yeah.
down at Evansville.
So we do it via you.
Yeah. And then we had a guy that didn't drink beer.
Blast from the
And
past.
so he would do
Shots.
He would do milk. No.
Ooh.
I tried to do Power Hour with shots of wild turkey once.
How many did you get into?
Surely you didn't do 60.
No, and truth be told, like the first two were regular shots, and I was like, hold on. How about quarter shots? Like that
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah, because that's
I did
insane.
21 shots on my 18th birthday
Yeah.
of Crown Royal. It was a mix between Crown Royal and Dark Eyes Blue Label.
You know, and I've never been able to do shots.
And I puked my guts out.
Like if I was stone sober and took a shot, good chance I'm barfing.
Yeah.
Like I could drink really stout whiskey and just drink it, but I like something about shots gets my gag reflex going.
I was a huge shot guy.
Yeah.
Big shot guy.
You
Lots
guys
of,
ever barf up like milk just after you drink it?
No.
No.
Man, that is the weirdest. Like I used to drink, like I'd tie one on, you know what I mean? And then before bed, I'd drink a couple glasses of milk. And it seemed to help with the hangover. So I'd,
Oh,
I knew a guy that did that too. It was chocolate milk or strawberry milk every time he'd get real drunk because he heartburn.
yeah,
So
I
it
didn't
would
have
coat his
heartburn. I
stomach.
just liked the milk. But one night I got to smoking a cigarette, drinking my milk, and I don't know what happened, but I got to gagging and I barfed. But it was like right after I took a drink of milk and it was still cold.
Ooh.
But that is the most refreshing barf you'll ever have. It's just like still
Big-
cold milk coming
big long drag off a Camel Unfiltered and 2% coming right up.
Yucky.
Oh,
Let's take a
man.
pause on
We
that.
will. I know we don't want to talk about winter weather coming, but it's inevitable. Good news is DuBois County Tire and Supply is ready to help you today. Right now, they have amazing Firestone and Bridgestone tire rebates going on through October. You want to know even better news? That's right. DuBois County Tire and Supply also has Michelin rebates all the way through December 9th of this year. Be sure to check those tires before the winter weather gets here. And one more thing. DuBois County Tire and Supply is just more than tires. They can also check coolants for freeze protection for this upcoming winter. All right. And we're back. Brother Dave, what got you?
Okay, so we've had a similar topic as this before, but I think this one is new. Would you trade or sell 1 year of your life for $1 million? And you could do this for as many years as you'd want. Like you can say, you know what? I'll give you 10 years of my life for $10 million.
Not a chance.
Not a chance.
I think I would because
10 years?
maybe not 10, but I think that I was
What's
just
your
saying
number? Give me your number then.
probably at least 5. Because I think that if I kept my head right, I could extend my life with that kind of money by not having to work as long and may come out even and still have the money. You know what I mean? Like,
But that's
Like
it.
set it up for generational wealth so where you could pass
no.
it on.
What I mean, like, so you go to work, you're never going to be able to retire, and you work, and then you die. So maybe you make it to 75, but you've worked until you're 68. So you only got 7 years, and they're the worst years of your life. So, okay. And I'm just drawing a line in the sand. But if I say, yep, I'll trade you those 10 years, I think that, let's just say it's 10 years.
So then
Could
you're going
you-
to die at 65?
But with that kind of money, can you improve your life to where you would live longer? Because you're taking
You'd
10
put
years
more
off the
life
end.
in your years than years in your life.
But you may put more life on the clock, too, if you live better.
But I
if
think
you don't
it-
got the stress of everything, if you're
I
not.
don't know.
So
man.
if you-
more
if-
money, more problems.
If you talk to the big fella upstairs, and I'm not talking about upstairs in the lounge, I'm talking about God. And God called you in a dream and said, hey, Brother Dave, right now, I got you checking out at 82. I got you checking out at 82, but I'm going to make you a deal. if I can cash you in at 72 and give you $10 million, you're telling me that you would take that right now, knowing that you're 41, that's all you
Not
would
from
have.
the big guy, because then I know I'm cutting it short. What I'm saying is it's like somehow you just cash in 10 years of life.
But you want the best of both worlds here, because you've said, like, I'm going to live to be 225. So in that instance, you're giving up 10 years. Ain't a big deal, because the rest of us will be dead and gone for 100 plus years.
Right.
While you live forever.
116, by the way.
You're trying to get the best of both worlds here.
I'm
Like
just
if
thinking
you're
that
doing
there's a
that-
certain amount, like just the point of diminishing returns. Like, I think that you could, because what you're throwing in is the date. I'm just saying 5 years off the end, but you don't know what date that is. You're rolling the gamble on, can you change your life enough with that kind of money to extend your life?
I tell you what,
Because you can cut out the stress and some of the shit you got going on.
Yeah, but you could cut all the stress out in your world, but and completely change the way you live, but you're never going to change genetics, regardless of how much money you
Well,
step
but
back.
here's what I'm saying. Well, the way that the advances they've made.
That's what I mean. Like,
gene
if you got
therapy
the
and other
money in
things.
there, I think that there would be a point where it would not be worth it on both ends. But I think there'd be a sweet spot where, okay, I cannot do this and die younger because I'm going to be stressed out and miserable and live bad, or I can get enough money now to change my lifestyle, not have to go to work or mess with stress all the time.
Yeah, but if you did
And
that,
then maybe a little
who you
longer.
going to hang out with during the day? Because the rest of us ain't taking this deal. So what are you going to do between the hours of 8?
And when do you get
And-
this money? When are you making this deal?
Right
Right
now.
now? Tomorrow?
Right now.
Listen,
So tomorrow morning you wake up and you've got another $10 million in your bank account, and
And I just know that I'm going to die 10 years.
sooner than you would have previously.
Yep, taking 10 years off the end.
I don't want to sound sappy. I don't want to sound that way. But would it be nice to have money for things? Yeah, I agree with it. But if you're telling me that I'm going to lose time with my wife, kids, good Lord willing, grandkids, I don't want to take it.
But in the next 20 years, how many hours of a day can you spend with your wife and kids working versus how many, you know what I mean? Like, how much do you get out of that time if you can devote it to what you want to do?
But I understand that. And I guess it would be good for, like, my wife and
I don't think I'd make it.
But the kids are going to be going in school. They're going to be in school
I wouldn't.
like
If I-
9 months out of the
If
year.
I didn't have structure and I didn't have anything to do and get up and go, and I couldn't imagine being retired now. You know what I mean? With what I've got going
And
on.
see, when I think about retirement, though, I'm still going to work. I'm just going to do something I want to do. Like, you got to have something to do every day.
That's what I mean. But but what you're saying though is if you sacrifice the 10 years off your life, take the $10 million, completely just not work and have any, I mean, other than your kid running and you want to spend all these golden years with your kids and spend the time and your wife and all your houses and da 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 da. But like if you didn't have to wake up and go to work and you could like, well, fuck it. I just want to stay in bed today. Like, or you know what I mean? Like I think I would have to have something to do, like just the way I am, because I can. Like I can just veg out for all day and, and not hit a lick.
And honest to God, if in an honest moment, I would tell you right now that even if I had that money, I think I would still work.
I would too, 100%.
But I mean, like, I would still go to the resort every day. Like, I would still go to work. I would still go do that stuff because I guess I'm in a position where I enjoy what I do. I enjoy who I work with. Like, yeah, are there bad days? But, like, I made that change from what was stressing me and was going to kill me young when I was in private practice to kind of what I do now. And I don't know. If Janelle and I hit the lottery and we had that kind of money, you wouldn't know much of a change from our lifestyle because I don't think it would affect us that way.
It's good.
And I think that now Janelle might say, you're fucking crazy. We're going to go hog wild. But I think that it's just, I love the question. It's fun to play the what ifs because to your point, I can see it. Like if you're saying 10 years and I was going to live to be 90, and I die at 80, that's a good run. Like, that's a good run. Like, that's a respectable run. But
Yeah, but if
your dad died early. My mom died early, but
if you're only slated to live till you're 60 and you're checking out at 50 with $10 million in the bank.
Because here's the other thing. You've also, I think, you can refresh my recollection, but, you know, I mean, you would want to set your kids up, but you'd also want your kids to work a little bit to understand what.
Oh, they wouldn't know they had anything until they were established.
Hey, Dad, why'd you quit working? Oh, I work from home now. I mean, would that be?
I think it'd still work. But when you don't have to work, it makes work not stressful because you don't like. You know what I mean? Like, so when we first moved down, and I sold the house in Brazil, and we were renting from the mother-in-law's home place, it was like compared to what we were spending a month to just live, it was like nothing. And we had the money that I made on the house. Like, we could have gone at what it was costing us a couple years with neither one of us working. Like, it'd have been tight, but we could have made it. And even though work sucked at the time, it was like, yeah, well, I'm just going to do what I got to do. I mean, fire me, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
Where did you get this question, by the way?
I don't remember. It was in my notebook.
Oh,
I keep a notebook at work when I have an idea, and I put our things on. So I was like, oh, man, wonder what's in the old notebook here.
yeah. I mean, it's good. Like, I love it. I would be interested to know what some of the Wanderers would say if they would trade $1 million per year. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm an idiot, but
I think, though, my biggest thing is I think you could extend your life with that kind of money.
Yeah, but there's no such thing as a fountain of youth. Like, it's just all figurative speaking. Like, you're not going to...
I don't know if you're picking up what I'm putting down exactly, though. Like, stress will kill you.
Yeah.
chronic inflammation is
Like,
bad for you.
Early. And if you can get out of the stress, can you extend your life
But
by
I think what I'm
reducing
trying
stress?
what I'm trying to say,
and then
though,
you
is,
end up at the same place you would have been anyway.
But what I'm trying to say is I think that your stresses would change. Like, there is no way in hell, regardless of any amount of money that you could ever have, to completely and fully eliminate stress from your life. I don't think money will cause... I think it'll be a different stress. Like, obviously, your workload and what you do at your job and everything, but you're still going to have stress. There's no way in hell you can go away from it. I don't think it'll ever go away. I don't think there's no such thing as a life with no stress.
But you can reduce it, I think.
Reduces a big difference, though, than stress-free.
Sure, but if you can turn it into stress, like...
What T-shirt am I going to put on today?
No, because you'd still have to work. But if you were doing something
Pants
more...
or no pants?
What's that damn word where you give shit away?
Thrifting?
Charitable contribution?
Well, but there's a word for it. Like wealthy people.
Tidings?
No, it's not
tithing.
tithing.
Philanthropy.
Oh, there you go.
If you get into something like that and you just make that your life's work and you do that with your family, and there's going to be stress because you still want to be successful, but at the end of it, the stress is for something more than just a paycheck. Like, it's not just because, oh man, I'm doing all this because I got to pay my bills.
But you being able to mentally unpack that, I don't think with your mindset you would ever be able to do that.
Maybe not.
You know what I'm saying? Because like just your critical thinking and the way you...
Sometimes you get wound up like an
way
8-day clock over some very small things.
The way you unpack things and shit like that. Me, I'm just a big dumb dummy. Big dumb dummy butt. You know what I mean? And if I gave my wife $10 million tomorrow, we'd be fucking fine. Because she is a fiscal hawk. Like, it would...
We need to send her to Washington, D.C.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, like, I don't think I would trade $1 million for a year of my life, because I don't think, like, obviously $10 million or $5 million or $4 million would change the way I do things substantially. Like, I think that the city of Huntingburg would carry on without me being there. And with $10 million in my pocket, I don't think I would be there doing that anymore. Like, I would probably, like you said, I would probably do something that I would want to do, you know, whatever, to still basically instill work ethic into your children and to show, you know, hey, you still got to work, you still got to get up and put your, you know, your shoes on and hit the floor running. But I don't think that, it just goes back to me. It's just more money, more problems, or more money, different problems. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
Yeah. I mean, and it would be our luck if we traded the 10 mil for 10 years. Our wives would just mysteriously make us disappear anyways. And then they get the last laughs. Like those old big dummies. They thought they were going to outfox us. And then next thing you know, the old pool boy is pouring new coals to the old lady.
Sons of bitch.
And
God
with that,
damn
it
it.
is now time for Merkley and Sons to give us Brado's 3 big things for this week. Brought to you by Merkley and Sons. Wasn't long ago, our buddy Greeny of Merkley and Sons asked why we didn't do an ad for their delicious meat sticks. Well, here it is. We talk a lot about what Merkley's has, and one of the best they got for the whole family is their delicious meat sticks. Whether you are feeling spicy and want jalapeno, or just the OG original, their flavors are delicious. Throw those meat sticks in a cooler before a campfire, or take them hunting with you. Merkley's snack sticks are the best. Now, there you go, Greeny. See you over at Merkley & Sons, the ultimate destination for meat enthusiasts. By the way, shout out to Greeny on the ad read there. That was all for Greeny. I mean, it was all for Greeny.
Good deal.
You know, the meat sticks. Nerves of Steel from our buddy Brado, our friend Brado, our dear friend Brado. 3 and 4 Raider football Brado, which, Dave, I don't want us to take credit for anything, but the Raiders are on a little win streak since that episode we don't want to mention.
Right.
So, Nerves of Steel, it's a dirty and frightening job, but someone has to do it. Mike Valerio joined veteran window washers 125 stories above the streets of Seoul, South Korea, to see what it's like. Brado here. Nope. How much would it take the Dutchman to take on this job?
A pretty big goddamn rope.
Yeah, I don't know that I could do it. I don't do heights well.
There's not a chance. No way. Going up there 125 stories.
I could do it.
Kudos for those guys. Not interested. TikTok star cycles up the Eiffel Tower. Internet personality Aurélien Fontenoy cycled up the Eiffel Tower in 12 minutes and 30 seconds.
We're 4 and 4, by the way.
That's really impressive. Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my bad. Thank you for the clarification there.
You want to get that?
4 and 4. Got me thinking, when is the last time the Dutchmen have rode a bicycle? And on that note, these e-bike things, yay or nay? I guess I've turned in the old man lawn guy, but I see these things zooming around town and think, what the heck?
It's probably been a couple years since I rode a bike, a year or two. I had one. I was kind of riding around here, and then I'd ride around if we went camping, and maybe a little longer in a couple years. I'd have an e-bike if I thought there was one that could carry my fat ass around and get things done.
I haven't rode a bicycle, but on the Labor Day weekend camping expedition down at Lincoln, I would use my daughter's electric scooter to haul my big ass back and forth to the shit house.
Yeah,
from the campground. So I have spent some time on an e-scooter, but yeah, I'm a big anti e-bike guy in town myself. Just seeing these kids basically pretending as if they were like supercross racers.
I like it.
Man, it just makes me nervous. I do like
one of them gets ran over because they're not paying attention.
I do appreciate that the Huntingburg City Police Department has issued a stance on them that it's 100% required to wear a helmet, which I think that's cool. Maybe it's not 100% required to wear a helmet, but I know a lot of them do wear helmets now, which
I think they said they got to wear helmets.
It's a big proponent of, and as long as they follow traffic laws, and just remember that they're on a bicycle, surrounded by like semis and trucks and vehicles and cars and things, and they still have that fear, then I think that it's probably helping them transportation wise on old mom and dad quite a bit. But yeah.
I got a stationary bike, Brado, that I'll ride in the wintertime when I can't get outside. Last time on a real bike, probably when I had that old Trek road bike and I'd get out on 161. But that's probably been a couple years that I've been out on it. Stance on e-bikes, I mean, I get it. It's, those kids in town, it probably gets some transportation to extracurricular activities, other stuff. But I share the concern because I've witnessed some of the yahoos that I've coached in the e-bike mafia zooming around town. And that really causes me for concern because, they've got 2 earbuds in, looking at their phone, on their bike, backpacks, all this other stuff, zooming every which way on the sidewalk where, you do have some people walking, but also, a car pulls up to a stop sign and they're going to roll through because traffic's thin and they can get across 231. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to roll right through that stop sign. So I think there's a little bit of a hazard to it.
I drove through it on my bicycle, though, too.
Which would then cause the issue with the vehicle versus e-bike, yeah.
So, I don't know. Just throwing it out there. I don't think you're off on that, Brado. I think there's probably a lot of people that drive semis, rock trucks, other vehicles. And wasn't there just didn't a semi get one somewhere locally?
I don't know.
She wasn't on an e-bike. She was just walking across the road.
If we stop looking up and out, what does that say about us? Fraud science educator Bill Nye, the science guy, which he has an engineering degree. So I guess engineering is a science, but not science in the way you'd think of it. Sounding the alarm over President Trump's plan to cut NASA funding. We don't need it anyways. We got Elon. In an interview with Caitlin Collins, Nye warned that severe cuts to NASA would end pioneering programs and make the U.S. lose our international competitiveness. Okay, so I got to ask, is there anything left for us to find in outer space? What say the Dutchmen? Well, we got to go to the moon first, Brado.
Yeah, we got to go.
Yeah, we haven't found anything in space yet, so there's got to be something to find out
We got
there.
to go to the moon. We got to get to Mars.
I'm all for the NASA projects.
Me
though.
too. Out into the great beyond.
Well,
I'd rather see us spend money on NASA than $300,000 on capital punishment. Bullets are cheap in comparison to that. I'd just shoot the motherfucker.
So you're not out on the capital punishment. You just think there's a better way to do it, more cost-effective
good
way.
grief, yeah.
You guys, this gets me every time. I'm very pragmatic when it comes to this stuff. I'm sure there's some great research that NASA does do, but you can create zero gravity in a lab and do the same thing. So, the idea of shooting big rockets up into the sky, I think it's cool. I think there's a love for it. Back in the day, the space race and all that other stuff. But, I'd have to see the cuts. But a fraud like Bill Nye is just doing this to get his name in the press because he's self-centered and really doesn't care.
Probably broke.
It could be. He could, if Bill Nye wants to save the NASA funding, he can pay more in taxes if he'd like.
Bill Nye, the science guy.
That's the funny thing. All these people want to save a lot of these programs, but they don't want to pay extra taxes. So, if you want to bitch about it, go ahead and write a check there, Bill Nye.
Pony up.
Yeah. So, Brado, thank you, buddy. We appreciate it. Thank you, Brado, for your questions this week.
Excellent contribution.
Brado's 3 big things. Hopefully we'll see you soon, Brado. And now it's time for some final thoughts around the table, brought to you by Hof Outdoor Power. We are winding down mowing season 2025, but that doesn't mean Hof Outdoor Power has stopped being the best provider in the tri-state area in Cub Cadet mowers. Right now is the end of season sale on Cub Cadets. Check out Hof Outdoor Power's Facebook page for the deals they have on Cub Cadets, where those prices are some of the lowest of the year. Listen, the mowing season may be slowing down to cooler weather, but the deals at Hof Outdoor Power are just heating up. All right, Brother Dave, what say you?
Not a dang thing. It's been a long week. Got a lot of projects going. Ready for a weekend just to sit around and do nothing. I think it's going to be a while away. But enjoy the weather. Enjoy your friends, enjoy your family, and keep on keeping on.
Big fella?
Same here, man. Yeah, fall is here. Just had the big old harvest moon. We'll talk about that next week. But, same thing. Put one foot in front of the other. Keep trudging, keep plowing, and most importantly, keep your stick on the ice.
Big thank you to the Gaslight, Lights by Logan, DuBois County Tire and Supply, Merkley and Sons, and, of course, Hof Outdoor Power for their support this month. We appreciate it. Favorite time of the year, it is time to put on long sleeves and still have shorts because it gets warm enough in the afternoon. But also, as this is still airing, playoff baseball is going on. I love watching playoff baseball, especially the Cubs have come back from down 2 games. Hopefully they win tomorrow night, and we're talking about the NLCS. But other than that, we're full into football season for the college and the pros and moving right along. I think hockey just opened up, so it's always good to have sports back, although we're not a sports podcast. But just get out and enjoy it. Enjoy the good weather. Get out there and see the stars on these cool evenings because they're bright and great. And other than that, by God, be good to those around you, and we will see you next time.
Dutchman out.